Welcome back, Legion, to Episode 2, Season 2 of The Legend of the Five Rings. We are returning once again to the village of Suma and a few other places in Rokugan, trying to tie these loose threads together and see what happens in between last season and the start of this season. We ended last session with Shizuka having her first impromptu investigation as an Emerald Magistrate. We ended off with Shiba Kinsuke being introduced to a prominent figure. One of the few Ishiken, the wielders of void magic, the magic of life and death and everything in between. Isawa Kaide, who's being married, apparently, to Akodo Totori, the champion of the Lion Clan, and he's escorting her. And we also ended with Bayushi Dakyo approaching a conversation of three people. Our Topaz champion, Togashi Daishi, a young Ronin favored by the Dragon Clan named Toku, and of Kitsuke-san, the former Topaz champion.
And Togashi Daishi's future wife.
And Togashi Daishi's future wife, yes, yeah. Or at least he hopes so. Dakyo, if you'd like to start us off.
So I walk up pleasantly, bowing politely to my friends. My good friends, it's good to meet you, good to see you again, my honorable Togashi, little Togashi-chan. Tell me...
That's an sentence cuts Toku right through the conversation.
Tell me. Wait, did Toku just interrupt?
He cut right through the conversation and said, well, that's an assumption.
What? Forgive me, I don't have the pleasure of your name.
I don't have the pleasure of yours. You go first.
Oh, of course. Well, I am known as Bayushi Dakyo, but you can just call me Dakyo.
He insists.
He insists on what? A name? Or he insists on just Dakyo? Well, I'm just Toku. Pleasant to meet you.
A pleasure. Devin?
Indeed. Yes.
I'm going to make an investigation roll on this man.
For what reason?
To see if he can climb walls.
I can't say without going very deep into my backstory. Based on my backstory, I don't think he's a samurai by birth.
No? Okay,
no.
Well, I mean, based on your backstory, I'll give you a TN of 15 for that. Do you want to make a raise?
No, I just need to know if he was raised samurai. That's all I want to find out.
You get that. That'll be a TN 15 based on your backstory and the knowledge that and where you came from.
So that is investigation, right? Yep, or is that etiquette?
Etiquette would also work if you have a higher score there because
I do.
He's not behaving as a typical samurai would. So yes, etiquette would fit.
All right.
And you exploded there. So yes. He holds himself not as a samurai would. Even Ronin don't hold themselves. He has this very natural way about him where he holds himself as a samurai with upright shoulders, but his cadence and the way that he's just like lazily putting his hand over his sword, the way that he's studying you, he is very confident and more importantly comfortable with who he is. He's not putting on airs, but at the same time, he's not behaving as a samurai. He's not respecting you. He's not he's cutting off conversation and that sort of thing. So he was not raised as a samurai in your estimate.
Is it reasonable to assume that this? So he wasn't raised samurai. Okay, so I was right. I actually have my normal painted on smile breaks for an actual legitimate smile, and I look at him and say, "It is an absolute pleasure to meet you." His
eyes blink a few moments and he's taken aback as he sees that your smile is actually genuine. Mm-hmm. Like, Toku, and the
Dakyo.
Honor is
no.
The honor is mine.
No, I insist. The honor is mine. And I shake his hand, or however is appropriate.
A curt samurai nod.
He gives you enough of a bow that you see that while there's hesitation, he's very well trained, and he gives you a bow appropriate for a Ronin to be giving a member of the clan samurai.
And I don't have the pleasure of meeting this charming young lady as well.
Kitsuki Suri, and she bows to you, and you retain like former Topaz champion now. Good Togashi has taken my place, and now I am simply a member of the Dragon Clan.
It is an absolute pleasure to meet you, and I bow politely.
Of course.
Dakyo-san,
yes.
By what powers grace you, or grace us with your presence?
Why, the very powers that enable all men to wake up, say hello to the world, and enjoy things, and the power of our bond and friendship, for after all, is not one friend a way by which one can meet other people?
Oh,
and
if
make
such
more
powers ruled the world as you suggest, we would live in a much bleaker world.
The Honorable Togashi's not fond of me. He finds me problematic, I suppose.
I more intend playfulness, as we
Of
have
course.
gone through quite a venture over the past few days.
Yes, we have, and it's good to know that you have always been the true pillar of Shinsei's beliefs and teachings, and never compromised on that in any way, shape, or form.
Wink.
Toku leaves it, and Toku just turns to you, bald-faced, asks, "Have you compromised?" I'm pretty sure he has, but
The second Toku says that, you just see Dakia holding his hand over his heart going, I love him. I love, like, he's not saying it, but it's just on his face. I love him. If anyone hurts this monkey, I will kill everyone, and then myself.
I mean, to be entirely honest, I just like knowing the people who I'm traveling with. Toku-san. Yes, I know people are allowed to actually have their secrets, and that's perfectly fine. Then Scorpion are very adept at finding out those secrets. But are you a sinful man? A sinful man is an honest man sometimes. I am a sinful man myself. Oh,
I love this monkey. I love this man. I love him so much. If anyone hurts him, I will kill them. I will ruin them. Don't hurt this monkey, Devin.
Daishi takes a moment to think, and in response to Toku says, "To some, the path to enlightenment is a smooth hill. To some, it is a journey of 10,000 steps. However, all people start at the bottom of whatever incline they are climbing. Some stumble."
Started from the bottom, now you're here.
Fucking Sam.
Way to break it down there, Sam.
Some stumble. And he nods knowingly. Okay, that's true. I myself have stumbled many times, and I can't blame anyone else who has stumbled themselves. At least you're honest. And he pauses for a moment and then turns to Kitsuki. That is one of the Bushido codes, right, honesty? I'm not getting that wrong? You know fully well that it is. At least you're honest. And he smiles. I myself am compassionate for those who are honest. That's another one, right? Yeah. And she just walks away.
Oh, I love him.
I watch her go, and on the outside, I'm just, I'm composed. On the inside, I'm like, no, wait!
Devin, would I know that she's his fiance?
No, she's not anyone's fiance.
Oh.
He wants the fiance.
He's proclaiming it.
Oh, okay. He wants her. Do I know that, though?
You don't fucking know everything.
No, he has never indicated that at all.
Okay.
And unfortunately, you're not a crane who can read people like that.
Yeah, well, I'll find out sooner or later.
We'll see.
So, do we have the joy of having you on the road with us, Bayushi-sama?
Well, yes.
Why do you think he was actually approaching? He's trying to make nice and make friends for a long journey.
This charming Toku has the right of it.
There's no other reason for a scorpion to walk up to you unless they want something.
No.
Understand that.
Maybe Honorable Toku, maybe perhaps all I want is to make friends.
Here, I was, based on my experiences with him, under the impression that he was trying to push a very thick log in a river which already has trouble flowing.
Is that a poop joke?
No, it's like, what?
Was that a poop joke?
Much like Shinsei's beliefs, you are eternally obscure. No.
Compliment, really.
If I would be more blunt, it would shame the Topaz Championship title.
Yes, heaven forbid you do that today.
I walk away.
I look at Toku. I think he's warming up to me.
I don't like you.
Oh, that's a shame. I think you're wonderful.
Oh.
But I respect your brevity and bluntness.
Well,
so I think we'll get along well, at least publicly.
Then I will be in the spirit of honesty and brevity. I will be forthcoming to you. I am incredibly fond of you, and I wish you nothing but absolute success. When you change your mind about me, should you choose to, you will find nothing short of an absolute ally and friend in the man who calls himself Dakia. Good day.
As he turns to walk away, clearly the kami bless me for such a fine gentleman to have the admiration of. Enjoy your trip, Miyoshi-san.
It's just Dakia. Plain, simple Dakia.
It's just Toku.
Man, you have the disdain of every dragon on the field.
Yeah, but he's not a dragon. I love him.
Just Toku. Plain, simple Toku. So, you get on the road. It's a better part of a month to get to Toshiranbo from Tsuba. It's a long road. Are you at all curious about the contents of things?
I know what's in there. It's the murder knife. It's the murder weapon.
Well, the package is quite a bit larger than that.
Well, I'm trying to think what my character would do in this situation. Because on the one hand, intellectually, I know that knowing would cause me no end of trouble and headaches. On the other hand, if I know, I have control over that knowledge.
And that's exactly why I'm asking. You have noticed on your trip north that it is being kept under a number of different forms of packages, but the package itself is very tightly sealed. It's long, it's wide, has been wrapped and marked for delivery to the Emerald Magistrates.
Is there a way that I could open it up, break the seals, look inside without and redo it again without anyone knowing?
It would require a difficult sleight of hand check.
Can I get a rough guess of what the TM would be for that?
Going to do it at 25 without breaking the seal.
I have a 4 keep 3. That's nearly impossible for me to do.
Unless you spend a void point.
Yeah.
To make it 5 keep 4.
Yeah, let's try it. We'll try it. Let's do it. I'll spend the void point and do the 5 keep 4.
So 25 is the TN to not break the seal or be able to replace the main. You are breaking it.
Oh, thank God.
Whoa. Okay. So quietly, one night, as packs are being moved out and moved in, and that's things are being repositioned depending on the terrain. Boxes are moved and shifted to be able to get it because they wouldn't, so they can get over the different rocks or sand or whatever other terrain happens. One night, you make your way to this very large box. It's been sealed for the Emerald Magistrates. You break the wax seal or you cut it free and have the appropriate oil to make it melt and stick again. And you have a section of hot wood from the fire to be able to melt the wax again. Mm-hmm. And as you do, you realize that that is very tightly sealed. And as you open the box, it was sealed for a reason, and a wafting, cloying smell of decay wafts out from the box. And for the brief moment that you see it, as you're holding the source of light, there is a body that has been cut, head cut clean off, arms cut clean off, legs cut clean off. It is a torso, legs, upper and lower legs, arms, and head all in the box. But they have been burned and cauterized at all of these various cutting points. And inside you see the body of an individual who's been stripped naked, and there are sword stabs. One in the ribs, and one in the front of the ribs. One in the side of the ribs and one in the front of the ribs.
Who the hell is it?
The Badger Clan champion, who you saw alive just a few days ago.
All right. Seal it back up. Now, don't want anything to do with
Quickly
it.
seal it back up so that the smell doesn't waft through the camp much. Mm-hmm. Quickly seal it back up.
No, I don't need Shadowlands taint from this shit.
So,
Jesus
you quickly
Christ.
seal it back up. You put the jade and emerald seals on it and add the wax back on. Depending on how religious you are, a little concerned now that you may have broken any magic that Jade Magistrates have put over it to keep taint from firing on it. But
I'm drinking the appropriate tea. I'm grabbing some jade koku and I'm just rubbing it up against my face right now.
that same body, a few nights prior, is lying on a table. Makoto Shizuka is looking over it. The tanto and the katana laying on a table next to it. The throat has been slit, but the head has not been cut off. And the body is still whole. She looks at the Emerald Magistrate, looks down at you. So, what are your thoughts?
This is where Shizuka just chops up the body.
I look at the Emerald Magistrate and I go, are these the Eta that cleaned the Tonto?
She nods her head in agreement. They are.
May I speak with them?
Of course. And she nods to them, and they both before actually speaking to you, they put the body back, quickly wash their hands in cherry blossom scented water, clean themselves up, and turn and one of them asks you, "Would it be all right if we stay in these robes, considering the samurai sama. We have not finished the complete cleaning of the body.
I have no problem with this. I just want to ask about the Tonto. How much blood did you clean off of the Tonto?
Very little, samurai sama.
The cuts were clean?
Cuts were clean for the Tonto.
Where was the body found?
The body was found in the sake house owned by the member of the Crab Clan. You recognize what they're talking about. It's the place you stayed last season. It was found in his rooms early this morning. And Akitoshi now speaks up. There was no sounds of battle. There was no sounds of fighting. That would have woken people up. How very odd, considering there are 3 dead Yojimbo.
How much blood was in the room?
A great deal. From in and around the body, samurai-sama. In the singular concentrated area around the head, the blood had continued to pool from the knife wounds that we saw. But the majority of the blood came from the slashed throat, we believe.
All right, I thank you.
They give you a full body half bow.
The 2 people who you have in custody, have they said anything about in their defense?
They have. They say that they simply came upon the body this morning. That they came to visit their master early in the morning, as he had not come downstairs for rice. Our guards were there that morning, enjoying rice and breaking their fast. When they heard there was a disturbance, because there was a scream from a servant who had come into as they were going to check on their champion. A servant had already brought him food, and they heard a scream. Our magistrates responded, and the two gentlemen in question had arrived.
And they put up no resistance once the Emerald Magistrates entered the room, correct?
Well, they were startled, but they put up no resistance once they saw that they were magistrates.
I don't believe that we have the correct men here.
And why do you think that?
There's not enough blood on the Tonto.
Very good. How much blood should you be seeing?
Far more.
And why do you think so? A lot more? Why do you think so?
If the stab wounds from any of the torso were the first, there would be more blood on the Tonto to begin with. Because then the Badger Champion would then be full of blood. However, if the throat slash was done first and then he was stabbed afterwards, that meant that this Tonto would have been planted there instead. Considering the fact that there is not enough blood to consist with an actual mortal wound, I don't believe that this was actually this was used at all.
Or perhaps was used after the fact.
Exactly.
A kudos typical weapon is as an advisor, they are not allowed a wakizashi or a katana, for they are not samurai, but they are allowed a tonto. So very good. What do you feel about the throat slit? If the majority of the blood came from the throat slit, do you believe the throat could be slit using a katana in this manner?
It depends.
In your experience as a warrior, is it the most appropriate weapon to be of use for such a purpose?
No. It's too wieldly of a weapon in order for this to happen for a throat slash. A throat slash would be much easier with a smaller weapon.
Very good. But of course we have no such weapon.
Of course.
The tonto does not have the amount of blood that should be on it, or at least the one that we have found. There is one question that you have not asked yet. Where was he last seen? What was he last seen doing? Do you believe that would be important in this case?
Yes.
I can tell you that he was last seen in the company of a geisha. She has not been seen since. So with that piece of information, what do you believe happened?
The Yojimbo are all dead as well, correct?
They are. All but one.
All but
the one we have in custody. The 2 who were here whenever the Emerald Magistrates came into the room.
Oh.
And they claim themselves to have just been checking on their master, but prior to they claim to have been near the room and about to check on the master when the servant screamed.
I do believe that the geisha let him off to be ambushed, at least in his room. The other Yojimbo may have heard, if they were outside the room, any disturbance. But if there were multiple people inside the room with the geisha, that would also make sense as to why the Yojimbo were taken.
Agreed. So the Yojimbo were found inside the room. They were killed quickly and silently because no other ruckus was heard. The Yojimbo perhaps heard the initial struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe the geisha herself was trained, or did she have other individuals here with her?
This was done by at least 2 people.
That is my thought exactly. One who was perhaps watching from a window, or perhaps because the Yojimbo were outside the doors. The geisha killed him. The other individual jumped in.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 of them were able to quickly and efficiently deal with the Yojimbo after they came inside. Very good. I'm glad you noticed that. I'm glad you noticed the inconsistency with the Tonto. The Tonto we believe to have been a plant in some manner. We do not know who the actual culprits are, aside from the fact that there is a geisha who has not been found. Apparently quite pretty.
Most geisha are.
She turns to the Eta. Our orders are to actually have this body moved to Toshiranbo. Please clean it, prepare it for transport, cut and cauterize the limbs, and have it ready for transport in the morning. The box will be provided outside. Have it sealed properly. We do not have any Jade magistrates with us, so it cannot be purified. So simply ensure that there is no blood leaking out of any of the cauterized limbs, and have it properly sealed for. Thank you, Akoto Shizuka.
And I bow deeply.
She walks over to a corner of the room, holds up a letter. So, Tottori thinks you're good enough to be part of our ranks. You don't have formal training, so you're going to be coming with me. And then she holds up a single badge. You should be able to wake a servant of some manner, some Eta who can actually do proper stitching. Have this badge, and she places the badge on the table. Go wake up some Eta in the village. Go wake up a servant. Have it stitched to your kimono. You start tomorrow.
I continue to bow.
I'm sorry for what happened. I hope together we can actually start giving you a new path forward. Don't disappoint me.
I will do my best.
She turns and leaves. So you leave Toshiranbo, or you leave Suma the next morning and have your month's travel, but not in the same train that the body is taken. You leave with the rest of the Emerald encampment. In fact, you find out that you are bound for the palace of the Emerald Champion, which is currently vacant and being used by the Ruby Champion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where one of the primary dojos is. So you leave the train and see the train that contains Daishi, or unbeknownst to you, contains Daishi and contains Dakyo. You see them on the road and you part ways, following soon behind you as the Emerald Magistrate is also a Phoenix clan member, as Shiba Kinsuke's contingent, who continues along the main road to the castle, or to Shiroshiba.
At this point, we're escorting Isawa Kaede?
You are going to be. So after several months travel, you're with Shiroshiba, and you are escorting Isawa Kaede. So, for sake of brevity, because not much happens, so you are not attacked. Your party is large enough and well armed enough that no Ronin or bandits dare attack you while you are marching south into Lion Lands. You are met at the border of so sort of like a point about a day and a half southwest of Toshiranbo, where Dragonlands, Phoenix Lands, and Lion Lands all meet. You continue on from there, turning away from Toshiranbo down to Shiro Akodo, the Lion Clan Akodo Castle. During that time period, you're not attacked by bandits, but is there anything that you, Kinsuke, would like to speak to individuals about? Any role play that you would like to have? Any questions that you have during this travel, either to Isawa Kaede or the other individuals in your party?
Isawa Kaede is a bit above my station. Conversating her is going to be a little difficult, but I do want to catch up.
Whether she actually answers your request is entirely other matter, but you can always request it.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we're effectively traveling along with my other, with my Topaz champion companions.
Actually, not in this instance. You traveled. You alone traveled with the Phoenix contingent back to Phoenix Lands. Picked up Isawa Kaede and Dakyo and Daishi. Went to Toshiranbo after you guys split along the road, and you have no idea where they went after that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
you
I
are
thought I
on
heard
the-
that. I didn't want to assume.
No, you're on the road. You're on the road on your own, along with your clan.
All right then. And being the dutiful bodyguard that I wish to be, and exemplify the invitation that I was given for the what was it? The Imperial
The Imperial Hidden Guard.
the Hidden Guard.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. I can't off the top of my head think of any roleplay opportunities along this. So I'm good so far.
Okay. All right. You spend the time period between the Topaz Championship and the upcoming Emerald Championship is several months. Daishi, you spend that time in Dragonlands, being welcomed back, given many honors, and due to the current political situation in the Empire, where there is budding war between the Lion and the Crane, and the Dragon in the role as peacekeepers, you are requested to go to the Emerald Championship to basically keep an eye on the Lion and Crane contestants, because there is budding war over several territories that they're fighting over, and it is the hope that the Dragon, as the peacekeepers, in addition to the Phoenix occasionally doing the same thing, that you focus on that you use your influence as a paragon of virtue to ensure that peace is kept at the championship.
Do I know the names of the contestants?
There's Doji Kuwanen, who is a very high-ranking member of the Doji clan, a duelist, a courtier, very well known. He is actually the younger brother of the current Crane clan champion.
Okay.
He's so not the head of the family, but a prominent individual.
Okay.
There is also someone named Bayushi Aramoro. That name you don't know much of, but he's obviously someone very high up in the Scorpion clan if they're putting him forth as a member, as a contestant in the Emerald Championships. And you also know that Akoto Totori has been invited to participate in the tournament as well. And several others
Senpai.
of an equal rank.
That's your boy?
In particular, they basically say it's like, we need to make sure that, like, Kuwanen's known to be a hothead. he's a bit of a braggart. He's known to be a hothead. So they're worried that Totori, even though Totori has always been very calm individual, he has a lion's fire if he's pushed too far. You also know that another lion contestant, she's not a contestant, but an equally hot-headed Spitfire member of the Lion clan by the name of Matsu Suko.
Yep.
The head of the Lion Legions is in attendance. She is the concern, not Totori. She's the concern.
She would be.
Matsuko?
She is known to be very fiery, hot-headed, lover of battle, as all Matsu women are. But she, in particular, is in mourning for the death of her husband, the former Lion Clan champion, Totori's older brother. And she's hot-headed for a reason. Doji, the current Crane Clan champion, was the one who killed her husband. So the current Crane Clan champion on the field of battle, honorably done, was killed by the current Crane Clan champion at a siege that happened in a city within contested lands.
Yeah.
So the widowed wife of the former Lion Clan champion, who does not apparently get along with Totori, is in the Lion contingent as well, and she's going to a tournament with the younger brother of the woman who murdered her. Well, not murdered, who killed her husband.
Well, fuck.
Welcome to Rokugan. Everyone hates everyone.
So there's a lot of issues that could come up here. There's a lot of things that could boil over. So you have been asked as a member of the peacekeeping contingent within the within the Dragon Clan.
No worries.
Shizuka, you are already in attendance at the Emerald tournament because it's taking place at the Emerald Palace. You are also made aware of these and many other things that are of concern. There's heated conflicts between the Lion and the Crane. There's heated conflicts between the Scorpion and the Crab. there's a lot of tensions that are happening. So you've been told that that this will basically be the test that determines whether you become an Emerald Magistrate, is whether you perform well at this tournament in keeping the peace. Dakio,
Yeah.
while we were in Toshirango,
Mm-hmm.
the time leading up to the Emerald Tournament, you arrive in Toshirango, you arrive at the Blossom Tea House, and you drop off the package. While you are staying in your rooms, there is a soft knock at a door from a kneeling figure, likely one of the very gracious geisha attendants.
I open the door. Good evening.
My mistress has requested your company. I am here to escort you. Have you eaten well, and have you had tea?
I have had some of both, but not enough to stop me. May I ask the name of your mistress?
It is Yogo Asami-sama.
Of course. I'd be a pleasure to be absolutely delighted to meet with her.
Of course. This way, please. As you're walking down the hallway, Yogo Asami-sama will ensure, I will ensure that more food and drink is sent to Asami-sama's court.
Of course.
That we want you to be most comfortable. Are
don't
you
question.
enjoying your stay? Are you enjoying your stay in Toshiranbo?
Excessively.
You come to the door, open the door, and it is like looking at a ghost. You look across the table, and even though her entire lower half of her face is covered by a very intricate lace and mask, and her hair is styled very differently. This individual has hair that is always put up in a very high bun, and the woman who you're familiar with wears her hair cascading down to just where her buttocks cheeks touch her lower back.
Yeah, but
in
that's
long
rules.
cascading waves. But the eyes are unmistakable. It's not Bayushi Kachiko. It's not the wife of your clan champion. But my God, does she look similar.
I understand I had the pleasure of addressing Yogo Asami.
That you do. And the voice is almost identical.
Well, let's try not to hold that against her. Sit down.
Welcome to Toshirango. I've been asked to ensure that your stay is most welcome and that it is enjoyable. You have served your clan very well recently.
I was stabbed.
You were. Has that healed well?
It makes its way, so to speak. Probably some elaborate, flowery business about how long roads being covered in brambles, and quite frankly, who has the time?
I wish to welcome you on behalf of our champion, Sarada-sama, and Bayushi Kachiko-sama yourself.
Oh, does the honorable lady herself take note of me in any meaningful way?
She has been spoken well of you by her respected friend, Aramoro-sama. He has spoken well of you, and he was in attendance at the Topaz Championship. You know he wasn't in attendance, or at least publicly wasn't.
I know he wasn't. Aramoro is Shoujo's brother, right?
Your clan champion's brother, and basically the one who does all of his dirty work.
Yeah.
Like every single nasty piece of business that Shoujo needs.
If Shoujo needs it done, Aramoro does it.
Exactly. So Shoujo can keep his hands clean, and he is one of the most deadly shinobi that your clan has.
Perhaps even in all of Rokugan. To be
fact,
honored
you'll
by
have to-
3 of the major heads of my household is a...
It is not honor; it is recognition.
Of course. And it is good to be
Your
recognized.
value has been seen, and I hope you remember that for the days to come.
Of course.
It was you, was it not, who actually who planted the seed in our champion's mind of plans to come?
I did, didn't I? It is interesting the form of which it's taken. Of course, you must be very fond of the plan.
I am neither fond nor against it.
Mhm.
It is a very fine plan. I have not been told all aspects of it. Merely those pieces that are of relevance to my mistress.
Of course.
You may have the opportunity to meet with her at the Emerald Championships, by the way.
Oh, will I?
She is in attendance.
Oh,
She will
that's
be in
just-
attendance.
Good.
I can see your fondness for her as
No, okay, Devin, that's Mike saying that, not Dakio.
Okay.
Dakio's hiding it infinitely better. But, oh, will
Yes.
I? Then that is truly great to be recognized in such a fashion by Bayushi Kachiko.
the Imperial Advisor.
Indeed.
an honored friend of the imperial heir, Satori-sama.
Yes. Yes, she is. By the way, are we in strictest confidence within these chambers?
Of course.
Would it be reasonable to assume then that the that which I was entitled to deliver to you has made its way into your care?
It has. It will be properly disposed of. Thank you.
Excellent. Do take care for it. It may have seen some rattling on the trip, several long months of the journey, of course. Do you have any inquiries for me?
What are your thoughts on the Topaz champion of the charges that you were told to oversee?
Oh, all three of them?
Indeed. Keep it short. But I'm curious as to your thoughts on all three.
Well, the Honorable Daishi Togashi, he's a little bit stuck up for a dragon monk, honestly. Just a little bit. Flaw that can be hammered out with a good amount of banter. But nothing more remarkable than that. He just happened to be a very decent and upstanding
Good
monk.
individual.
You fucking owe me, Dom.
Very good. In particular, we are curious about the Shiba, the bodyguard.
Shiba Kinsuke?
Ruh-roh.
I wish I could say that I'd had the true time to analyze and decipher Shiba Kinsuke. They remain as a mystery to me. Very pleasant, amicable, decent
Skilled,
painter.
would you say?
Competent samurai? Not exceptional.
Oh.
Interesting.
Dave, I'm doing you a solid. Would you please appreciate what I'm doing for you? If a scorpion says you're not worth looking at, I just gave you a fucking carte blanche in the scorpion books, you dingus!
Interesting. That's very odd that he's not in any way remarkable. He was chosen by Isawa Kaede. Are you familiar with her?
Yes, the Circle of Void. Yes, I would know who she is.
She used to marry Honorable Akoto Totori-sama, and she asked for him.
What?
She asked for him to be part of the bodyguard.
Huh.
And I do not know why. We do not know why.
Busted!
Shut up, Dom. I'm on your side, you dumbass.
It's just very odd. I'm not, and this is not, please understand, me claiming that you do not understand what you're speaking of, but the fact that you feel that he is unremarkable, it is simply odd. Why would...
Then, clearly, I have to continue my assessment. Regretfully, due to the nature of the championship, there was only so much I could focus on between the problem with the Doji Harrier, the Togashi, of whom I had to assess, and the Akodo. So, there were limits.
Of course.
Of which I have been suitably chided for those limitations. But we exist to climb over our limitations and be as all-encompassing as we can be.
And what about Shizuka?
Akodo Shizuka? I think she's rather devoted to the Akodo cause. Very strong-willed, very proper woman.
Do you think she has stronger ties to her clan or to her position?
I would say that she has her strongest ties to her clan.
We believe so as well. We're glad that we are not off that mark from someone who has spent enough time around her. All right. Thank you. I will pass on this information to my mistress.
You're welcome.
Do you have any questions for me? Your orders are to go to the Emerald Championship and ensure, as our champion has said, that the proper individual wins.
And of course, that is the Honorable Akodo Totore.
Whoever the proper individual is, as believed by the gods, if that is Akodo Totori, then the gods...
Oh, I see. My apologies, with the way you had said that, it had implied that the Scorpion had someone in mind for themselves to win.
The Scorpion have a competitor. Unfortunately, Harumoro-sama's pride got the better of it.
Did it?
It did.
Oh, it is not my place to ask of such things. Of course, if you just tell me outright, I can't stop you.
I believe Harumoro-sama is very good in his service, but he believes, and my mistress believes as well, we would be just as well served as having a Scorpion in place as any other member of any clan. We shall leave it at that.
Fair enough.
But Harumoro-sama has decided to enter in his belief that he could best any other individual, but pride has always been his greatest weakness.
So he will be there with Bayushi Kachiko, then?
He shall be.
Will the Honorable Champion himself be in attendance?
I do not believe so. I believe he is still working with the Emperor at the palace.
Of course.
But Bayushi Shoju shall shall arrive for the final day for the coronation, as the emperor himself will be arriving for the coronation along with the heirs.
Of course. What are your thoughts of me?
I believe you, from what I understand of you, and from what Sarada has deigned to inform me of, is you have a very keen mind and a far-reaching imagination.
That's more than Sarada has ever said to me directly, so thank you.
You have a capacity for empathy that most Scorpion do not. I would advise you to ensure that is nipped in the bud quickly.
Of course. One mustn't let one's sentimentalities get in the way of their work.
Indeed, and it makes you effective to a point. Bayushika Chigo-sama herself has a very high sense of empathy, but she uses it to her advantage.
Of course.
I would advise you to do the same.
Of course.
That aside, I also find you dangerous.
What's that?
I find you dangerous.
Well,
as any good Scorpion should be. You have a capacity to plan and counterplan with the best of our clan, and yet you are still very young and inexperienced. Which means you have potential, and potential is dangerous.
Only if it is used against the clan.
Exactly. So I hope you understand,
Of course.
regardless of what you feel about your orders, that you understand where your loyalties lie.
Of course. Of course I do. It is first and foremost the clan, and then after that Rokugan. Good day, lady.
And as you stand and as you leave, if you look back one final time, she does take off her mask as the screen is closing. But I want you to make a recognize roll, or I think recognize is the skill.
The skill you're looking for is investigation in this case, because recognize is a Pendragon skill.
Pendragon skill, yes. Investigation.
21. Not great.
You now know where you recognized her. She not only looks so alike to Bayushi Kachiko that she could be her double, and in fact likely is her double in certain circumstances, but you saw her in the crowd at the Topaz Championship. And that's where you recognize her eyes from. She was in attendance at the Topaz Championship, but not as obviously Bayushi Kachiko as herself. And the month had passed as all of you arrived at the Palace of the Emerald Champ. It is a beautiful place. It will be described next session. But when you arrive, all of you are, because the palace can only accommodate so much, and there's a large number of individuals here, you are all asked to camp outside on the grounds outside the Emerald Palace, where many of the preliminary tournaments will take place before the final duel. Dakio, you are approached by some Ronin. And while you're moving between dinner, sake, so on and so forth, you are stopped in the middle of the pathways between tents, and a hand is placed upon your shoulder. Honorable Bayushi-san, you will come with us, please.
May I ask in whose name you are requesting me? For Ronin have no offense, no right to call a samurai to any task.
Of course they do. You hear a familiar voice behind you on the other side of your shoulder. An arm reaches over your shoulder, and you see a Lion Clan Mon. The clan of who is calling.
Mm-hmm.
Not the individual. If you want to resist, that's fine.
Oh, no, it's not.
Where we're going.
It's not resistance. It's just clarity, please.
And you turn and you see Toku among a group of Ronin.
Toku! Now, you see, if this man had come up to me beforehand, I would have come with you with open arms. Please. On our way.
They take you on a circuitous route between tents, back of tents, through others, through different sections. It's totally unnecessary.
Can I just look at them and be like, you're taking me to Totori's tent. Do you think I don't know where Totori's tent is? This is beneath all of you.
It's not beneath us. It's not for you that we're doing this. Toku says, we're giving your legs a workout, but we're also giving a workout to anyone who happens to be following us.
Toku, if you're taking a scorpion anywhere as Ronin, I'm going to be followed. It's just, Toku, man, we're going to get you up there, man. We're going to. I promise you, you have so much potential, and I have nothing but faith in you.
I hate you. Okay,
you will learn to change your opinion about me.
They take you to a tent within the lion camp. They're not stopped. These Ronin are not stopped.
They wouldn't be.
When walking into the lion camp. And you're brought to a tent at the center of the ink. Do behave yourself. And then says Toku as he lets you in. And then as you start to pass through the doors, actually, no, do me a favor and don't behave yourself. I think I'll enjoy that more.
Toku?
Just one excuse. Just any excuse.
I can honestly say, from all my depths, at some point you and I are going to have a very good conversation. And I think we'll be firm friends on that day. If you'll excuse me.
Look inside. On the inside of the tent, facing away from you, with a single spot for you to sit opposite, is a Kodo Totori.
I take my seat, bow my head, as is appropriate to a Kodo Totori.
I'm going to be very straightforward about this. I had no plans to attend the Emerald Championship, and the very fact that I've been invited is both inappropriate and presumptive. So I'm going to ask you this once, and I expect you to answer me frankly, clearly. Why am I here? In session there.
Oh, you bastard. Oh, you bastard!
I am Devin, the storyteller for the Legend of the Five Rings, and my players are...
I'm Mike, playing Bayushi Dakyo, and I'm about to... Oh, you bastard!
I'm Sam, the production manager, playing Akoto Shizuka, and yay!
I'm Dave the Dave, and I'm playing Shiba Kinsuke.
I am Dom. I'm playing Topaz Champion Togashi Daishi.
An all-around nice guy.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.